Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. We are here today with Dave Goldie and Colin Knox from Gradient MSP. Started to say MSP Gradient, but no, it's Gradient MSP.
We don't care what you call us, just call us.
There you go. I got to use that. That's awesome. That's awesome. So how's your day going, guys?
It's going well. It's going well. It's
amazing.
Been a crazy month so far, and yeah, today's been great. Happy to be here.
Good deal.
And thank you for having us, Scott, and thank you to everybody that's tuning in. And we really appreciate this opportunity to engage with the community. We're just talking turkey, weren't we, Scott?
We were. You know, I didn't even realize that the Canadian people don't celebrate a traditional Thanksgiving like they do.
Oh, maybe it's the Americans that don't celebrate a traditional Thanksgiving, right?
We do celebrate the traditional Thanksgiving. We just don't do it at the same time. As we were saying, we like to spread out our turkeys.
So it's global turkey consumption. It's you know, staging that to help make it easier on the turkey population. I think that's got to be it.
Well, do y'all pardon turkeys too?
No, I don't think we're pardoning turkeys.
So when is the Thanksgiving that they celebrate in Canada?
October.
Mid-October.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So just had it. All right.
Yeah, we did. So we made sure that we get in before you guys so that, you know, we have the turkey before they're all gone. And then essentially you're getting our turkey leftovers, I guess. Hey.
Well, those are always the best, right?
They actually are. It's always better a day after.
Sounds good. Awesome. So I am excited to learn about this new platform you've got. I guess it's under the Gradient MSP umbrella. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's we've been working hard. Well, Dave and I have been smiling hard. That the team behind us has been working feverishly hard to get everything built and put together. But this is kind of our second product, but really our first foray along the path of what we're really building towards. You know, we've talked a lot at Gradient, kind of shouting from our rooftop about this vision that we have for the IT channel and the managed services market, where regardless of the market consolidation that's happening and regardless of everything else that flows and occurs in the industry, we want to be able to keep empowering MSPs with, number one is the freedom of choice, so that, you know, regardless of what PSA you run your business on, you can still work with and use any other solution and still have that integrated to your product and to your PSA product. So the way that we're going about that is building an integration platform that allows any tool to integrate to any PSA platform and allow us the opportunity to drive, you know, methods and levels of business automation that's never been possible for MSPs before. You know, there's been all of this work done and amazing work by amazing companies that's been done to automate service delivery, but very little has happened on the business automation side of all those handoffs that happen between, you know, account management and service delivery and accounting and, you know, all of these different functions that happens, where, you know, I've been there, you're there still too, Scott. Like you're the MSP owner, and a lot of times when the balls drop, whose fault is that? That was our fault, right? Like, oh crap, I forgot to get that quote out, or crap, I forgot to order that, or I forgot to tell, you know, accounting that we have to update that, or maybe you even forgot to update the contracts and stuff. So we've started on this. The product that we launched last week is called Billable. Okay. And it's really a productized first use case of that business automation and integrations, where we're tying the resale stack through to automate the billing reconciliation process for MSPs. That just onerous time every month where you're super frustrated, you hate doing it, but you got to go through every vendor portal, figure out which clients are consuming which service, how many units are they consuming, has it gone up, has it gone down, over into your PSA, finding the contract, the service, and just this mundane effort to make sure that you're getting paid for everything you're doing as an MSP. So we've kind of taken that on and we found what we think is a pretty slick and cool way to automate it and make it more effective and efficient for MSPs and just a better experience. But the way we've gone about finding the scalability side of that is we've created an open API where any channel vendor. So if you're tuned in right now and you're like, oh man, my vendors, that your vendor partners or any one of them doesn't integrate to your PSA to reconcile your billing, we've got an API. You can just introduce them to Gradient. They can build that integration. It'll flow through to your PSA and countless others. We support 8 PSAs today. And we'll automate that for them. And so for MSPs, I think you can obviously already see what the benefits are. But for the channel vendors, it's less investment on R&D, right? It's less ranking, engaging. Well, which PSA do I need to integrate with next, or who should I do over this one? And they've got to battle what they're building in their product with what integrations they're building and where all of their time goes. So we're trying to solve and ease that for them too, to just get quick access to integrations and make their partners happy. So it's all we're doing. We're trying to make everybody happy here.
So just to be clear, this is a brand new platform in addition to what we all know as traditional Gradient MSP with the data cleaning, the PSA cleaning. This is something totally different.
So it's a different product. It's all part of the same platform right now. The data cleaning stuff is taking what we're calling a little hibernation as we flesh out everything. But chances are the data cleaning product Tidy will flow in as just a natural function of the overall platform to make sure that as data synchronizes from resale vendor partners through to your PSA, through to other tools in your stack to handle other things, we'll just make sure that all the data is clean, all the data replicates and synchronizes the way that the MSP wants it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's all coming together, a nice rounded ecosystem for you, or for the MSPs too.
Yeah, I mean, that's an ecosystem is a good way to put it, right? There's so many communities in this market, and so the last thing that we were trying to do or wanting to do is build yet another community, and rather it's how can we foster a better total ecosystem and foster better relationships between vendors, between MSPs, help be more, I guess, supportive of the communities that already exist, like, IT Business Owners Group and all the other vendor communities and sub-communities that exist. And so Dave's, building his team out and has lots of plans on how to engage with and support those communities in ways that is beneficial to the MSP instead of us trying to create a whole new community, a whole new something else that ends up competing with or vying for attention time with any of those other ones.
Excellent. Well, I know your team has been working very hard for a long time on bringing us the final polished product.
Absolutely.
So, good deal.
Been working on it hard. So.
Well, your efforts show in the work. Speaking of showing, did you want to show us anything?
I'd be happy to walk you guys through a demo here. Let me share my screen. We'll share that one. How's that coming across?
Yeah, let me move it down to a different monitor here. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to make monitor envy. How many monitors are you running, Scott?
5.
Holy smokes.
5 monitors.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is so good. So I'll kind of walk you through this all. Just, we'll kind of go full journey of what it's like to even get set up and signed up so that, anybody that's tuning in, watching it now, watching it later can see how simple it is to get set up, because that's a big focus for us. We know how busy everybody is. We know how valuable the time is when you have a chance to dig in on something or take a look at something. So first and foremost, anybody can sign up straight from our website. You don't have to talk to a salesperson. You don't have to fill out a form and have Dave calling you back to say, oh, you want to know pricing? Let's talk about this first. Let's do that, right? If you want to watch a different demo, even though we're just going to show it to you right now, you can do, everything's available on the website. We've got a full free version. And then for some of the automation, which we'll talk about and show, there is an upgrade path, but that also comes with a trial and no credit card required. So you're seeing the screen fine? Kind of the login setup screen, yeah?
Yeah.
Just a quick add to that, like, do engage with us. You know, we know that a lot of people just prefer to get in there and get their hands on the product. And so that's why we've set up no barrier to entry and just very easy to jump in there and really truly experience what you'll see as a beautiful product. But engage with us. You know, if you want to talk to a human, we're here and we would love to engage with you. Hopefully in person soon. We will be on the show tour next year for sure. But virtually, yeah, would love to engage with you. And we're going to continue to invest in developing resources so that you can experience this in the way that best serves you and brings you the most value for your time and energy investment. But yeah, jump in there. I mean, it's such
Awesome.
a cool product.
All right. So here's for going on MSP feedback. Y'all didn't want another password to log into something. So we just gave straight up single sign-on, whether you're using Microsoft, whether you use Google, whether you just have email and want to use a magic link. There's no password to get in. It's just all token-based or piggybacking on existing systems. So I'll go to log in here, and this will be a new account setup. So we're going to go and set me up here. And then you'll see we've got a bunch of PSAs supported. So we support across ConnectWise Manage, Datto Autotask, Kaseya BMS, Synchro, TigerPaw, Halo, Excello, Pulseway. And we'll keep adding them as MSPs come and say, hey, my PSA isn't supported. If you're signing up and it's not supported, we've got buttons for you to tell us that is not supported and tell us which one it is so that we can take and capture that feedback and get back to you when we've got integrations there. So for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to hop in and use Autotask. So obviously we need an API user to be set up. We go with the concept of least privilege. So we're only asking for access to things that we need to be able to reconcile your billing. So linking to clients, understanding and seeing contracts, your service items, just that kind of stuff. So I've got an API user already set up. So I'll go and plug this stuff in here for the username and the password. First thing we'll do is save and test. So you don't need to move forward and all of a sudden hop into the system and find out, hey, it's not working, or set the API user up wrong, or something was not connecting. We test it all right away before you move forward. After that, we kick it off, start doing the synchronization, attaching and grabbing data in from the PSA so that we can present to you something very familiar once you get into it and into the system. So, well, we've got a whole lot of pop-ups of ways to help guide you through the system as well. You don't have to pay for an onboarding. You don't have to sit through some monotonous, tedious session where somebody else is walking you through. We just help do that through the software. So when you come into the software, and hopefully you saw, like, that's the full setup, right? So I don't know how many seconds we are into this demo and we synced in a full PSA account already, like of a sample, fictitious MSP. So it's literally seconds to get set up and get in here. What we'll show you through first is the completely free freemium level. So no credit card, no payment. This we will give anybody for free to access. So when we were talking to MSPs about this problem of reconciling billing every month, we dug in, we shadowed and watched MSPs do their billing reconciliation. We bleeped out and listened to all the cuss words as they were going through it, watched them pull out their hair. But we recognized a lot of things that were inefficient with how they have to do it because of how PSAs are configured and how vendor portals are configured. So what we mean by that is you always had one of two choices, right? On one screen, you had all of your vendor portals open. And then on the other screen, you had your PSA open, and maybe you opened up all of your contracts for your clients. And your two options were, I can go contract by contract, and then in each contract, go to each appropriate vendor portal, grab the usage and update that, or I could go vendor or product by product and then go vice versa. Now, there's risks to both ways of doing that. One is if you've sold your client something and it's on a contract, but it hasn't yet been provisioned by your vendor, you're going to be missing on noticing that you haven't even deployed it, but you're billing them for it, or you're kind of like a little bit confused in that. Two is if you go the other way, you may find that there's clients that you've provisioned things for, but haven't put in the contract. So there's still that gap of one way or another where chances are you're not getting paid for everything that you're doing, or you might not be living up to everything that you've sold. And that's kind of one of those worst situations to ever be in is clients are paying for something that they're not getting, or you're delivering something you're not getting paid for. So what we've done with this is given single screen visibility, and each one of these kind of rows and sections is a product line or a service line in your PSA. So whether, let's say it's security awareness training, you've got that in your service catalog or product catalog in your PSA. So we grab that and we find every contract that has that attached to it. So now if we wanted to expand this, we can see all of the contracts in the PSA and all the clients that are consuming or booked to consume security awareness training from you, right? And so now as you go through, and again, this is the free version. So if I wanted to go through this manually and do whatever, okay, 113, the vendor is still 113, no change. I go and now it's gone, right? So it's like that due diligence reconciliation checklist. Once everything's gone, you've reconciled everything, you've checked everything. If you need to adjust this, because I checked the portal, I can click adjust. I can say, okay, there was 4 more seats sold of this. You can choose the date that it was effective, probably the next billing cycle that you're doing it for. But then we start to give you more information. Here's what your change is in profit on this for this client in particular on this service, what the change in revenue is, what your total is now for this contract, what the change is, what it's going to. Again, you go and update it, and now that one's gone from the list. And we've just written that immediately, like instant right back to your PSA. So it's not even like that. That's included in the free version. We're not charging to write it back or to have it. This stuff's all free, which is pretty neat. But the next thing that we do is we start to show you what your total revenue and total profit is across all your service stack, which chances are you can find that already today and stuff like that. What you can't find, or what we've never been able to find, is per product line. A lot of MSPs are looking at what's my total revenue and profit, and then what is it per contract. Now, that's decent to find out which clients are making you the most money, but it's not good for you to ever have any indication as to which products or services are actually making you the most money, which are performing, which are not, which are growing, which are not. We give you that visibility right here for free. Now, as you're going and as you add in automation and you upgrade to the next level, we'll actually tell you month over month or billing cycle over billing cycle what your percentage changes are and what the actual net increases are and stuff on the per product line and overall. But these are the things that we give you to just help you make sure that, one, you are checking all of your boxes, you are making sure you're getting paid for everything you're doing. And it's a lot nicer, as I hope you've already seen, of an experience to go through when you're doing it, instead of getting lost in the million lines, whether it's a convoluted spreadsheet, whether it's 50 vendor portals on this screen and 50 clients on that screen, just kind of crazy like that. But where we take it up a notch is almost every vendor or distributor gives you an ability as an MSP or a reseller or a partner to be able to export consumption or usage reports attached to the clients under your tenant as a partner. What we've done is given you an ability to just drag and drop one of those exports. And the second you do it the first time, we're going to tell you, hey, that's a pro feature. You can start a trial. There's no credit card required. Again, we're not looking for anything up front. So I've just engaged a trial. If I've done this before, you can save your import profiles so that you don't have to redo mappings every single time or go through things, and it'll automatically remember. This is a brand new account, as you already saw. So we'll set up a new profile. We'll call this the ITBOG demo profile. And then we'll say that this was, maybe it was a tech data, distributor export. We go next. Now it's taking a look at stuff, and we got to do that initial mapping. So the things that are important to us when reconciling are the account, like which client is it, the service name, and then what the quantity is of units. So we just do a quick, simple drag and drop mapping process. If you can't map somewhere, it tells you really quick and easy you can't map it there. So I'll just go there. It's all good. We're good to move on to the next stage. And here it comes to mapping accounts. Now, Hands up. I can't see your hands, so don't put your hands up. But hands up if you hate mapping accounts all the time, anytime you integrate with a PSA. It's a pain in the butt, right? Because for whatever reason, things just never auto match. Guess what? We auto match. So if you've got 30, 50, 500 clients, you don't have to map all of them individually. We will do some auto detection and auto mapping. And then the ones that aren't mapped, you can just click this nice toggle here, hide mapped items, and see what's left over to be able to map them. In this case, we're able to map them all automatically because there was, the same names, easy to go. We click next. Now it's on to the services. What we do here is, again, instead of giving you 5 million of services that are in your PSA of things that you used to try to sell or used to sell, don't sell anymore, changed, whatever it is, we don't want to overwhelm you with things. So all you have to do is click the little filter button there, and we're going to do a quick short list search through all of your lists to find things, right? And it's as simple as that. If you didn't want to do that, or that didn't pull something up, you can just start typing, network device support, boom, it finds it. We drag it over and on to the next thing. Next, we just give you a quick sample as to what things are going to look like, how many quantities we're going to update, how many accounts we're updating, and the number of services that were in that export. So we're going to save the profile. It's going to import the CSV, get our hamsters running, charge up the flux capacitors, and get going. So we'll hit review. And now you can see there's a different view, right? So we've already calculated what your change in profit and what your change in revenue is based off of that import or any other imports that you've done. We've been able to tell you on each per product line what your adjustment is. So TNS protection's not doing great. We've actually had a big drop in that month over month. So that might be an indicator to start looking into that, right? Is this clients are unhappy with it? Is it they're just not retaining it? They don't see the value in it? What could it be, right? Now you've got an indicator to look at. What's the coolest to me is kind of going back to that problem that I talked about when you're going either across vendor by vendor or going across contract by contract, and you miss stuff. We automatically identify this. So we go and look at that export that got brought in and says, hey, Barone Sanitation is using DNS protection, but it's not associated to a contract under their account.
Okay.
So you've got 98 seats deployed to them that you've never been billing them. This is new revenue found.
Wow.
All you have to do is say assign to a contract. And we'll see. Yeah. So now you do a drop down. It's looking at the mapped accounts. That's Barone Sanitation in your PSA. And it only shows you contracts that are available under that account. So now I map it there, says, hey, 98 is what we found. We did this. We're going to go ahead and we'll assign it. This is a demo. I don't want to screw up anybody else's demo account, so I won't assign it this time. But you just assign it. Boom. That service gets attached to that contract. It's automated, updated for the amount of seats or units that are being deployed, and it's good to go, right?
Otherwise, it wouldn't have been billed. It'd have been missed.
Otherwise, you never would have billed it. We've been talking to MSPs, and this is what's insane. So we have one partner who we started doing some stuff with. They found out that their MFA provider they were doing stuff with, there was 50 seats that they hadn't been billing a client for 18 months, $3,600.
Wow. Right?
What can $3,600 buy your MSP? And how many times does that happen across all the different solutions you sell, all the different clients you have, things that are always dynamic in your business?
It happens a lot.
Even worse, we had a really, really large MSP, but we plugged in a bunch of stuff. They were undercharging an entire client by 50%.
Wow.
For a year, $42,000. Because service delivery and the technicians were doing their job. Requests were coming in. They were deploying new Microsoft 365 licenses, the SaaS backup attached to that, the email security attached to that, all of this stuff. And that wasn't flowing through to their contracts, and that wasn't flowing through to accounting to get billing. $42,000 in that business, right? We charge $49 a month for this upgraded level. And that doesn't matter how big you are, how many clients you have, how many solutions you have, how many units or anything else. It's just $49 a month, right?
Because otherwise you'd have to go through and do a manual audit of all your clients. And that,
how long that takes? Yeah. It's insane. I would lock myself in my office for 2 full days a month doing this as an MSP owner is what I used to do. And I hated my life the entire time. If somebody wanted to bug me and interrupt me with any question, that was like a godsend. Like, yes, please bother me and ask me something that I can feel like mental stimulation on, so that I'm like happy and I can smile and laugh and do something. And then, I got to get back. But the worst part was then I lost my place and I didn't know what I had done and what hadn't been done. So this finds all of that, right? What's really cool. So let's find something that's a little bit more motivating here. So we'll go with network device support. So if I look at InGen Biotech, 22 seats, we're finding 132. I just got to look around my camera here. So obviously that's a big jump. So let's go into Autotask. So to go here, go to contracts, little Autotask demo if you're not on Autotask. This is no affiliation, promotion, attachment. It's just a PSA we're integrated with. So we'll look these guys up. And which contract is that associated to? So this is Managed 360 Plus. So I'll go into that contract. So the amount of mouse clicks that we save and screen loading times alone is crazy. Then we go to the services tab, and that was network device support. So we can see here we've got 22 items, right? So we'll close this down, come back here, and we're just going to say reconcile. Okay. That's up to you. We also could undo it here if we wanted to. So we give you kind of 5 to 10 seconds to just undo it. We're going to come back here. We're going to go back to services. Right away, you can see that we've made some other unit changes here, but I'm just going to go ahead and pop this forward a month. Geez, 12. So now we go to network device support, 242. So we've made the increment. We've already done it. We've written it back. It's done, right? So now when you go to run your billing out of your PSA, it's there. It's updated. It's ready to go. And you haven't had to do anything. If you trust, and as you gain trust for the import system and for based off the exports that you got from your distributor or vendor, all you have to do is go and select a whole bunch of these, scroll up and hit approve. And you're just going to mass approve them all. That all gets written right back to your PSA and you're done. So we're taking that, 10, 20, 30 hour process you're going through every month where you want to pull your hair out if you have hair. Some of us are receding hairlines and thinning in the back, but like it takes this down to what could be minutes, depending on the size of your organization. If not, very like maybe a couple hours where it's just simple. It's easy to do, not all these mouse clicks, everything else. And as we bring more integrations online, as you introduce us to more of your vendor partners and we get, them integrating with us, we get more stuff flowing through and everything happening, this turns into a zero time and effort that gets put in every month. But we're recovering your revenue. We're saving your time. We're saving your frustration. We're just making sure that your stuff connects, flows, and you're getting paid for everything you do, right? That's how simple it is with this billable product. And right now, like we're getting really great feedback. I wish we could hear all the feedback from people watching right now, but we've made it as simple as possible. We help get you started. We walk you through everything in here to learn more, to make sure that you understand what you can do, what you can't, what's available to you. We can take feedback from you. We want to take feedback from you. If you come up with, there's a feature that you want, there's an integration that you want, there's something that you need, drop it in here, right? If you need anything else with us, whether, you need to change your PSA configuration because you want to change the API key, you want to see what's happening synchronization wise, that's kind of all there. Everything's just available to you. Contact support, go to the knowledge base. Everything is just simple and easy for you to be able to consume stuff and work with the solution. So yeah, that's how simple it is. Like that's a full demo in a few minutes with a whole lot of talking.
I was going to say you're about 15 minutes into the demo, and I think you already reconciled and created the account in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, and we recovered revenue, reattached it, edited the contracts. Like to put that in perspective, if I wanted to come in here, and this is not, obviously this is Autotask, but most of the PSAs are the same. Now we integrate with 8 of them, so we've had some good experience seeing them. So if you go through it, maybe you're doing it this way and you go through and you find like Managed 360 Plus for Barone Sanitation. So that was the one that it had found. So I had to search them out if I discovered that, hey, we got to build them for this. And I got to go to services. Then I have to go to new service. Then I have to do a quick search. All right, there's that. Then I have to choose the effective day, right? Come through here. How many units? Go back to the other screen. Okay, it was 83 units. Yeah, this stuff all looks okay. Save and close, and then on, right? Instead of with ours, it was add to contract, choose the contract, approve, and it was just done. And kind of all the way across. If you're doing just, not even adding to a contract, but same experience, pulling up the contract, going to services, editing this, going and changing the amount, hitting save, hitting close, on to the next one. You can do that just by click, approve, right? And it's just done. It's all about just recouping time, finding those lost moments for MSPs. Like, again, when I was doing it, I got to a point where I had the ability and the almost, as crazy it is to say, the luxury of doing this during business hours, because I had a team that was doing all the service delivery and managing clients and everything else, right? A lot of MSPs, and even me earlier on in my MSP, I had to do this on Friday nights or over the weekend, or we just talked. You got Thanksgiving coming up. Do you want to be doing billing reconciliation over Thanksgiving while the game's on, while your family's over, while you're smelling the turkey that's been smoking or roasting? No, you want to be with your family. You want to enjoy the game. You want to have some good eats and just relax. You don't want to be doing the billing process. And it just so happens like this is at month end now, right? For Thanksgiving. So this is what we've come out to do and offer, is do that. And even as Thanksgiving, you get a 14-day free trial with all the automation. So why not jump in? Why not do this quickly? Get your imports all dragged in, reconcile all your stuff, rest easy knowing you're finally getting paid for everything you're doing and getting to enjoy the holiday at the same time. That's what it's about, right? Is understanding MSPs, having been in your guys' shoes, having lived the fury that you have to deal with, and trying to make it as easy and pleasant as possible.
And I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, you can sign up for free.
That's the thing. You can get the whole free level, right? To just try it out. You can go on the free trial. Again, we're not trying to be some crazy, vendor that you've maybe been burned by before, where you have to fill out the forms or you have to give something or take a credit card even to get the trial, right? And then all of a sudden, if you don't cancel, we're going to charge you, right? We've been that vendor before, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it as easy, and we're trying to earn your business every step of the way. So sign up for the trial, get the trial. We'll keep following up with you after if you've decided to not pursue it, less to try to convince you, more so to find out why didn't you continue on, what was missing, what wasn't right, so that we can fix that and then come back to you later and say, hey, we fixed that. So yeah, that's our approach to things.
So what was your inspiration for putting this together? I know it's your idea. I know you're the brains behind it.
Not the looks. Did you pick that up, Dave? Did you pick that up? Yeah. You kind of look like me, Dave, so I don't know what that says about you. You know what? It was one of these things where we wanted to build something like this the whole time. Ever since we came up with Gradient, this is where we wanted to go. And there's just so many conversations with MSPs that you just bring up the topic of billing reconciliation, and like they're recognizing it as like, it's that time of month. It's that displeasing to deal with, right? It's this cringe moment. And the amount of people that told us, oh my God, if you could build something like that, it would save my life. Oh my God. We MSPs who their wives do the billing reconciliation. They're like, I'm going to be in my wife's good books forever if I can get this for her. Like, she hates that, or whoever is doing it just hates it. And, we did a bunch of research, and MSPs that we asked, they figure they're missing out on 3 to 10% of their revenue because they just, the manual way that they have to do it, or they just don't do it because they hate it. And we wanted to solve that as no secret, ran Passportal before, and we had a resale product for password management as a service. This was one of the top requests, integration and feature requests that we had. Reconcile my billing to my PSA. And we wanted to build that, and we wanted to do it, but then we looked at it and said, you know what? It's not just 2 PSAs we have to build that with. While that would give us a good, solve for a good chunk of our partners, it's not going to solve it for every partner. And so then we started looking, and the list of PSAs on the market is expanding so fast and so wide. And we wanted to be the best possible password solution that we could be for MSPs and their clients. We weren't focused on being the most integrated password solution for our clients. So we had to wage and hedge and prioritize features and security and functionality and automation over integrations, because it's just a massive R&D thing, and an endeavor to go under. And as we've had conversations with channel vendors, we're hearing the same thing from them. They can't justify building 10, 15 integrations for PSAs to satisfy all their partners when they're trying to be the best product in their category for their partners. And so us being able to expose a single integration option where they can get access and integrate across 8 PSAs without having to choose, without having to build more as new businesses and new PSAs come online, it seemed like a really great win-win for us, where we can be driving and giving value to vendors to allow them to answer these top feature requests and integration requests their partners are having, and solve what seems to be one of the most frustrating yet valuable tasks and pains that MSPs deal with every month. So that's really where it came from, was just listening to the market and thinking back and reliving what we had to go through all the time when we were running our MSP.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I have a small MSP, and, we just got finished with a 3-day audit of our clients just to find, where we're missing out on money. And that was 3 hours, 3 days, painstaking days. So, and that could have been done in probably less than an hour, maybe half an hour. So.
And how much revenue did you find you weren't billing for? Just out of my own curiosity.
We're still not there yet. We found a lot. So maybe 20%.
Yeah. See, like it's crazy. And that's not because you've done something wrong. You're busy doing a million things. And the process is onerous. It's horrible to go through.
How many MSPs do you see that actually are missing revenue that Billable finds?
So with the people that we were dealing with really early, pretty much everybody was finding revenue. Mm-hmm. We're watching very closely as all the new MSPs that are signing up for Billable. We're trying to see and capture how much revenue we are recovering, because I think that's going to be an interesting statistic for the industry to understand, right? Is we've got lots of great groups and, your Facebook group, and then there's all these other coaches that are out there that are telling people how much you should be charging a month and, helping find and recruit new clients and everything else. Well, hey, let's get the house in order first, not just security wise, but let's make sure you're just getting paid for everything you're doing. Because if we can find you 3, 10, 20% in your case, what can you do with that? Right? Yeah. How does that change your business? How many more people can you hire to offload yourself? How many more marketing campaigns can you go on to follow the advice of all these other coaches that you can now afford to? Or maybe you can actually afford the programs with those coaches to drive your business forward. And that's where we're trying to find impact for MSPs, is let's put that money that's sitting on the table back in your pocket so that you can do more for your business, whether it's a lifestyle business, and that just means, hell yeah, hitting Mexico for 2 weeks this year.
That's right.
Right? Or if it's, hey, I can finally break away. I don't have to do technical work anymore because this just found me $5,000 a month to pay for a technician to join our team and get going, right? It's those little things where we can find money, where we can save you time and frustration and help move your business forward.
Well, we talk about this all the time and hear it from our MSP friends. Like, it's just hard enough to run an MSP, and always has been, right? And so I love being on this mission to try to just help MSPs' lives and businesses run better. And at the highest level, we want the channel to work together in a better way that truly serves MSPs. And we love the MSPs, like the impact that they have on the world, especially seeing through the pandemic, the support that they provide to essential businesses. They are essential to the economy and, vital to community. And, we just love MSPs. We want to make their lives better. So it's hard enough running an MSP. Then you think about how much time and energy and money MSPs are investing in sales and marketing, and the process that it takes to acquire a new customer is quite lengthy, right? And then you start looking at some of those numbers that we were talking about. Revenue that's left on the table right now can be a new customer or two new customers or 10 new customers. And it's right there, right? Like, it's Thanksgiving. Let's go get it. It's on the table.
You know what? Like, there's so many things in that, right? So the other part is M&A. So many MSPs are looking to sell their business at some time. Maybe now, maybe later, right? And I'll give a use case of this in a minute here. But when you look at, and what's the top question? I think I actually saw 2 posts of this in IT Business Owner Group over the last 5 days. Trying to sell my business, want to sell my MSP, how do we value it? I'm going to give you all advice right now. I've sold an MSP. I've worked with thousands of MSPs and know very many that have sold and know lots that are acquiring. Okay, here's how you're valued. You get a multiplier on your EBITDA. At some point, there may be different algorithms and formulas that come in. At the end of the day, that's what you're getting, is a multiple of essentially your net profit or gross profit, net profit, your EBITDA line. Now, there's a few fluctuations in it. One, there's the multiplier you get is most heavily weighted by how high your top line revenue is, right? So if you're a $500,000 MSP, you're probably going to get 3 to 4x on your EBITDA number, right? If you are even a 1.5, close to a 2 million, you're going to be seeing in the ranges of 6, 7x on your EBITDA. So all of a sudden, just having more revenue increases your multiplier. That's exponential. Okay. The next is, what is that top line revenue, right? When we're recovering, like you just said, 20%, Scott, right? Let's say you were $1 million MSP, and I'm horrible at math, but we find you 20%. So now you're 1.2 million. Maybe that moves you from being a 5x to a 6x. Not only did we find you 200K, that's freaking awesome. But now we've done 200K times 6, right? We just found you $1.2 million potentially in valuation on your MSP, if that was pure profit. And generally, it is, because you're paying for those licenses, you're paying for those seats, you're paying for the cost of goods sold on that already. That's how we're recovering that revenue.
That's
pure gain, right? That's how we're impacting the potential of your business. Now, a really good friend of mine, he's recently departed, is Eric von Straten. And so he passed away earlier this month, and that's very unfortunate and very sad for our industry, because he was such an amazing person and supporter of our industry. But as he was going through his illness, he was trying to prep his business to sell so that his family would be taken care of if this proved terminal. He paid an organization $17,000 to manually reconcile and check and find every which place that he was not getting revenue and not charging for. $17,000 was paid for a one-time project on this to do it. Now, thankfully, they found a lot. It was of great value for him. He went on, he did sell his business, and everything was migrated and happened before he left. But look at that cost. Like, obviously his is an extreme case, but if you're prepping for sale, do you really want to take on $17,000 to then try to go back to the people you've been negotiating with and say, hey, we just found this? That's going to cause a few more questions. Don't you think of what else would be uncovered in this business that hasn't been getting done, very cleanly and properly? Or, where you just found magically all of this money, I'm getting an iffy feeling all of a sudden, right? If you go with a solution like Billable, it's very cheap, right? $49 if you're paying for the full meal deal, free otherwise. And you can recover that revenue, get that revenue, prep your business, have it running cleanly, but you can actually really impact the value, the end value of your business by recovering that revenue and making sure that you're as maximized and optimized as possible.
Well, like you said, Colin, you take $1 million valuation and you find $200,000 that you can add to that would otherwise be money left on the table. You just increased it by one.
That's life-changing money. Right? I don't know anybody personally who would scoff at $200,000. Like, nah, I don't need that. I have done very well in my career. I would not give up $200,000, right? Like, I wouldn't give up $20,000. Like, why would you do that, right? And it's just, that's real money. And that's how we're trying to go about changing the game and making life better for MSPs. Like, that's money back in your pocket. And if it's not in your pocket, that's in your clients' pockets.
Yep.
That's in your vendor partners' pockets. And that's in the pockets of the people that buy you. Because I guarantee when they finish the acquisition and they put their team on the case to get everything and maximize their return on their investment, they're going to find that money.
Yeah.
Right?
So you might as well take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Well, I would love to see some statistics on, how much over time, like I know Billable is relatively a new product, but over the next year, it would be interesting to see the analytics and see an average cost across all MSPs of how much money we're leaving on the table.
Yeah, I'll do you one better than that. Let's get everybody in the IT business owners group to jump on this. And, there's no secret that as a course of what we're doing, we're collecting data, right? Yep. But we're using it to see how we can fuel industry intelligence for MSPs to do better and learn better and eliminate some of that guessing game and help vendors better understand the industry and what's actually happening in the industry. So if we can get a lot of the members and fellow members of this group on board with Billable, we'll come back as soon as we've got a good enough sample size. We'll keep checking in with you, Scott. But the second we've got a big enough sample size, we'll do so much better than that. We'll tell you how much we're recovering, and that'll be something that make me feel really good once we know that number. But beyond that, we'll start to break down product categories, and we'll give for free advice on what MSPs and people in the industry are charging for the various product and type services that they're offering. The backup, the SaaS backup, the dark web monitoring, the DNS filtering, the email security, all of that. Because those are the questions we see flying in this group all the time. What are you guys charging for this? What are you charging for that? How much, all of that. So we'll give that insight and intelligence for free. And that's a way for us to show how we're looking to even leverage this data in the future is to help fuel the collective intelligence and help eliminate some of that guessing game. So whatever metrics and data we can pull out or statistics, we'll share that information back with the group here for sure.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a baseline of services across all MSPs. That would be really nice. So, because goodness, if I don't think there is a baseline right now.
There isn't. There isn't. And it's one of the first questions that every channel vendor faces. What should I be charging for this? I'm going to partner with you. I love the solution. What should I be charging for it? Right? And then the channel vendor goes, well, we have partners that charge this and we have partners that charge that. And you're left there sitting with this new product in your hand going, that helped me zero.
That's right.
Right. So if that's a way we can actually coach people here in this group again, or in the entire industry, where we say like, hey, this is the average resale price. Here's the top bookend and the bottom bookend that we've seen. And here's what the actual average is. Maybe you're going to look at that and say, holy smokes, I'm undercharging by like 20%. Maybe we just find you another 20% on that service. Now, on a few services, right? Now we're inching you up a little bit more, right? Maybe you're overcharging. You're like, no wonder my clients aren't buying this. Nobody's paying that for this service. You can set your prices and start getting more from those clients that you have and the services and solutions you already have available, right? Those are the impacts we're looking to have. We're trying to find you real money in the clients and services you already have and just help you tune your business that way based off of everything that we can find and do. And hopefully at the end of the day, that makes somebody or a lot of somebody's a lot richer and a lot more set in life because their business is worth that much more and their business is that much healthier. When I was at, it's Enable now, it was called SolarWinds then, there was research saying that 25% of this market loses money. They don't even break even. Like the bottom quartile is losing money in their business every year. If we can help take those people to break even and profit, that's our dream. Like, let's make this a stronger industry, right? Let's stop. Every business deserves a fighting chance. Everybody that had the guts to step out on their own and start offering services and risk their livelihood and do everything, they deserve that fighting chance. Now, some of us have been really fortunate, but we've learned along the way of what we can do, right? And some people, and I'm guilty of this myself, don't know how to get out of their own way sometimes. They don't know where to look, or you get overwhelmed by the million bits of feedback and advice that's getting shouted at you from every sponsor in this group, every other channel vendor, every other MSP that's got something to say. So if we can compile all of that and bring it together and just share a straight answer with you and automate things to just automatically find what's missing, that's what we want to do.
That's beautiful. So getting back to the analytics, Colin,
Yes.
After Billable has, some substance to work with, some true numbers, will you be integrating that into the graphical user interface that the end users see for Billable? So they can look at that and say, oh,
yeah,
well,
we'll be visualizing everything that we can, right? And we're not looking to be another BI dashboarding system. There's lots of those out there and they're really good, right? Sure. We're looking to be a source of intelligence. What does the data say, and what insights and trends can we find and make available to people? So absolutely. And the more that we can allow an ability to segment that, the better, right? So, you, for instance, you might not care what MSPs globally are charging for a solution. You might not care what MSPs are charging in the entirety of the United States. What you do care of is what they're charging in your state, because that will show you what people are paying and what clients in your economic climate and your local economy are willing to bear and are bearing as a price. That helps you fit it. Because let's be real. When you look at things like real estate, $200,000 gets you something much different in California than what it gets you in Texas.
That's right.
And a million other places in the country, right? So why are we being advised and educated and trying as MSPs to sell based off of what the national or global average is? That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
So if we can, again, get participation of MSPs across, yes, billable now, but think of the insights that we can give you back to help you understand, to right, fit, and tune your business based off of who you are, where you're at in your business, where you are geographically, all of that type of information can be made available with substance, not just grain of salt that because it came from a vendor, a grain of salt that because somebody on Reddit posted that. I don't know who the hell that person is, right? But just being able to provide that.
Well, Colin, before we get to the end of the live stream here, I went back and checked, and Barry Clark asked a question in the Facebook group. Is there an audit of changes made to the PSA?
Yeah, absolutely. So here, let me share my screen here quickly again.
Okay.
So we track everything that happens. So when you click, are you seeing the screen right now?
Yep.
So when you click the widget, the gear icon up there, you've got your PSA configuration, but then you have your activity log. And when I go into here, clearly they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Let's refresh and see what happens here. Yeah, okay. So it shows all those activities that I took while I was doing the demo. How many units were increased, how many were for which account, what service, who did it, all of that. Right now, we don't have the undo, but we tell you exactly what's been done. You can hop into your PSA and revert those or delete those activities. Very soon, I don't have the exact timeline, but it's like one of the first things that we're continuing to work on is allowing you the ability to individually undo or being able to do select all or multi-select and undo those actions. In the meantime, if you don't want to have to go and do all that, contact our support. The button's right here. Tell them what you want undone. Say all of the things that I did today. Our team will revert that for you. We'll just run the script in the back end. That'll be done. We'll confirm back to you, show you what's going to be changed, what's going to happen, and then when it's done. So yeah, we don't expect if you went and just multi-selected and did like 20 services across 30 clients, and then you went, oh shoot, I misread that thing. We don't expect you to go and manually undo that. Just send us the email. Contact support here and we'll do that. But very soon you will be able to just undo those things yourself.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we are at the top of the hour. Colin, I really appreciate it. Dave, it's been a pleasure. Anything else you want to share with the community before we wrap it up?
You know what? Just for me, we appreciate you guys, you know, and that gets said so many times, but it is so genuine for us. And we are truly trying to have an impact. We've been in this space long enough. We've heard that the overused, worn out statements of your success is our success. We're here to empower you and make you more successful. We're here actually to prove that to you, to earn it with you and show you that we can have an impact. We're not trying to make you more successful by finding more stuff or giving you more stuff to sell. We're trying to empower you with the knowledge that you need to be more effective in your business. And we're trying to recover and find and make sure you're getting paid for everything that you're doing. That's how we believe we're going to drive your success. And without MSPs participating, obviously we have no success. We're not selling products to enterprise or mid-market because there's nothing to be sold to them. Sure. In this, right? This is purely purpose-built for MSPs based off of the requests and feedback that we've heard. We don't see ourselves as a channel vendor. We see ourselves as a channel champion or champion of the channel where we can promote and advocate and drive greater success for this whole industry and both sides of that ecosystem for vendors and for MSPs and trying to make those partnerships more prosperous.
Well, it's working. Barry Clark, he said perfect. He said we'll be signing up tomorrow. Looks awesome. Sweet. So awesome. Excited about that. And Colin and Dave, we are excited about you know, what you're bringing to market here for the MSPs. It's a wonderful tool. I am super excited myself. I know that we leave a lot of money on the table. So if you're an MSP and you are not wanting to leave money on the table, what's the best way for people to get started here, Colin?
You know what? Hop over. Yeah, there you go. Dave's got it.
Yeah, meetgradient.com. Seriously, it's free. We're not asking for a credit card or anything. Just jump in there, experience it for yourself. Give us feedback, engage with us, let us know, you know, the current state and what we can do to improve things, and engage with us and our team, whether you see us out there next year at events or anywhere in the digital world, virtual world that we're engaging now. And Scott, we appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody in your community investing this time and energy, and experience it for yourself.
Sounds great. Well, I hope that everyone enjoys their Thanksgiving and y'all get some good turkey.
Yeah, do it up.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
That's right. We'll see you.
Have a good Thanksgiving. Thanks, guys.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Scott.